have a quorum. And Chad, will you say the prayer?
Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. Thank you for everything that you've given us. Please keep all the families that lost their homes and any property in the fires, keep them in your prayers. Please look over them as they move forward through that process. And pray that everybody stays safe as they travel for sports. Take care of our staff. Please look over us and make sure we make the best decisions for the district. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I pledge allegiance
One state, under God, one indivisible.
Golly. Thank y'all. No one?
No one.
Okay. Before we get started, I just want to say, as a board, thanks to all of the staff for what happened. When we had the fires, I know some of y'all weren't here, but it was crazy how they had everything so organized. The elementary had every kid over here. They had them in the gym. They had them separated. They had a checklist. It was a very well-organized chaos. It really was. And the high school did a great job getting them in and making sure they were doing what they were supposed to. And most of the junior high was gone at that point, but they were in and out and gone, and the staff supported them. They were checking off people, walking them out to their cars. So hats off to y'all. Y'all did a great job. We appreciate it very much for everything that y'all did.
And, again, I want to say thank you to the staff, all that was involved. Like he said, I mean, it was very well organized. We got the kids in and out. The staff did a tremendous job there. And I just want to recognize a few people also. Stratford ISD, they came and they helped us out. We weren't able to have a track meet and raise money, and so they bought all the concession items that we had for the track meet, and they put a track meet on for us. And even though it was way more stuff than they needed, he said we want it all. And so they did us a great favor doing that. And then, raised nearly $9,000 for our cheerleaders for camp, which was tremendous. Also, Vernon Northside raised, I think it was just over $1,500 to help the cheerleaders. We've got several gift cards, like Lake Travis ISD, several of their teachers, they sent gift cards. There's just been, Gruber FFA, Gruber Methodist Church, they came up, provided several meals and helped where they needed to, and brought a bunch of different supplies. Panhandle teachers came and helped when we opened the gyms up, so it's just been a tremendous outpouring to help our community, and I know I missed several, but we appreciate everybody who came and helped us through a difficult time, and just pray that the people that were affected get back on their feet, and we're here to help where we can. And so,
All right, thanks. All right, with guests, it looks like all high school, is that correct? Yes?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. All right, who do you have? I see Mrs. Gray back there.
Yes, I have Mr. Gray with the BPA kids. They went to Corpus Christi and represented us very well. And I need Ms. Gray to explain just how big this is, because I wouldn't do it justice. So please, if you would, Ms. Gray.
And they're helping each other.
Awesome.
They competed against 1A through 6A schools in the state of Texas, and they competed in different events. There's approximately 65 individuals in each individual event that they have. It's usually around 6,000 students that are represented at state. And these guys were incredible. We had national alternates. Ben Sylvie was 14th in intermediate word. Jaden Durod was 11th in database apps, and Daily Ringo was 9th in advanced spreadsheet, which is the top 10 to 20% of the state, which is amazing. And then we had 2 individual national qualifiers. Zoe Dethridge, y'all can stand up. In fundamental desktop publishing was 4th, and Jonathan Alejandro was 2nd in the state in advanced accounting. And that was our individual winners. Then we competed in team. The team events, only the top 3 get to go to nationals, which is 0.02 to 0.8%. Not even 1% of the state get to go to nationals. And our administrative support team, Zoe and Daly and Ben Sylvie and Jaden Durod, are the state champions. They were first place. They will represent us May 9th through the 13th in Chicago. Also, they made school history, and then we have 3 of these guys that are competing for the 3rd time at nationals. I would say there's only like 10%, and maybe that's high, of the state that gets to go to nationals. And these guys are going for the 3rd time, and that's Zoe, Daly, and Jonathan. So that's school history. No one's ever done that before. That's awesome. Did you want me to?
If you would.
Okay. Jonathan is in my BIM 2 class, and in BIM 2 we work towards certifications in Microsoft Office Specialist. And these are industry certifications, and you can actually get college credit for for each certificate that you earn. There are 2 major programs that they have. One is called the Microsoft Office Specialist Associate. To be declared an associate, you need 3 out of 4 certificates. The 4 certificates, 3, is it, I think it is, well, help me, okay?
There's
Word Associate,
Excel,
Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook.
I guess it is 4.
Okay, because he knows better than I do. He's taken all 4. He only needed 3, but he has all 4. And so they send him a special certificate because he's now a Microsoft Office Specialist Associate. But they have a second program called Microsoft Office Specialist Expert. You have to receive 2 out of 3 certificates for these, and those are...
You also first have to have the associate certification.
Right, you have to have the associate and then receive 2 out of the 3 certifications, which are Word Expert, Excel Expert, and Database Expert. Access, right, database, access, right. And so he has received all 3 of those as well. He's received every certification that they offer. And so he has all of those 7, plus the 2 that they give for getting so many. And he, every single one, 700 is passing. And it's hard for high school students to get that 700. He hasn't scored below 920, 940, something like that, somewhere in there. And he has scored 2 perfect scores, one on Microsoft Word Associate and one on Excel Expert. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, 2 perfect scores. They have Microsoft Office through Certiport has a program that if you're a high school or college student, when you take the test, you can check to compete to become a state representative in the U.S. National Microsoft Office Certification Program. And
that's only available for the Word, Excel, and PowerPoint Associates.
Right, you have to do, it's only available for those 3 tests, not for the expert. But if you take one of those 3, then they rank the top 3 in every state in the United States. And you took that test like in September, October, and scored a perfect score on it. And so he's been ranked first since then. And And the top in the state goes to the U.S. National Championship in June to represent the state of Texas. And so he'll be representing the state of Texas in Microsoft Word Associate.
That's in Orlando, right?
Do what?
Is that in Orlando?
That will be in Orlando, yes. And if he is first place there, first, second, and third win scholarships. If he is first, then in July, he'll represent the United States in the World Championship.
I feel like they represented us very well.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Great job. Y'all want to have them come up? Terry, you want to get some pictures, please?
No.
Ready, guys? Thank you.
Good job.
Thank y'all for coming. Thank you, Ms. Gray.
Right, we're going to go into our regular meeting, so if y'all want to stay for that, you can. If you want to go home.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations, everybody. Good job.
No, I know we do. No, you're good. I'm scared.
It's kind of far road church over there.
All right. In the consent agenda, does anybody have any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Have a motion by Doug, do I have a second? Second. Second by Mike. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. All right. On the regular agenda, you want to talk about the,
Yes, sir. Chevron Phillips Chemical Company donated $3,000 for our dual credit students. They just took the money to Frank Phillips and they'll disperse it for our students only. So we're very appreciative of their donation to help out our kiddos.
do we have a motion to approve that?
I move to approve a donation from Chevron Phillips Chemical Company for $3,000 for dual credit tuition.
Motion by Logan, a second. Second by Chad. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. All right. Mr. Hine, you want to talk about the budget amendment?
We're going to split it up a little bit. I'm going to talk about a couple items, and Jason's going to talk about a couple items.
Okay.
As soon as I can get the screen to, let me see. Okay, we have 4 different amendments that we are proposing to you for today. The first 2 are for, you guys had authorized a couple of positions, the new athletic director and then an assistant business manager. And so those weren't budgeted positions, so that's the amount I need to, this year for the positions. That's more than the total of their salaries because salaries cost more than what, you know, like if you make $10,000, it costs me like $12,000 because of all the benefits and stuff, so. Then the next 2 are, Jason can tell you.
All right, the next 2 would be for new football uniforms, since we have a new AD. We bought some new uniforms last year, and I think those would make great sub-varsity uniforms, but I would like him to be able to get some new football uniforms. And then the other is weight equipment that we got from Groover. They gave us a heck of a deal. I got Coach Sleeve can probably tell you, I don't know, we got, what, a couple ton in weights and...
We got 8 power racks, 8 Olympic bars, 9 benches, and over 4,000 pounds of weight. And Groover had given an exceptional deal. The timing of it probably lined up, them getting their new facility and the situation that everyone was in, as well as their new athletic director's daughter is on our staff, so it gave us a chance to be first in line.
Anything else? Any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the amendment?
I'll move to approve the budget amendment for 2023-2024 school year.
Motion by Doug, do I have a second? Second. Second by Mike. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. All right. Let's talk about the school calendar.
All right, the school calendar is very similar to this year's. There's a couple staff work days we added. We had a meeting with I had a meeting with the district advisory committee, and they basically created a calendar. We tweaked it, and they wanted a couple work days in there in August that we added that we didn't have this year. Same breaks, we got a week at Thanksgiving, 2 at Christmas, spring break, the snow days around Easter. We're actually going to school a day longer on this one than we did this year. And so, but it's basically pretty well the same calendar as this year, so.
Okay. Do we have any questions about it? Okay, do I have a motion?
I move to approve the school calendar for the 2024-2025 school year.
Motion by Chad, do I have a second? Second. Second by Logan, all in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. All right. You want to talk about House Bill 3? Or Richard?
That is Mrs. Searle.
Or Mrs. Searle, sorry.
No, you're, I mean, they can talk about it. Okay, so every year we're required to adopt House Bill 3 board goals based on our STAR data. And so since we received our STAR data, we went over that last month, then I took the goals. On the first page is the goals for literacy. And I was pretty happy with our goals. We met or exceeded almost all of the goals that we had. The overall goal in the top, the 2023 goal, in the red is where we hit our goal for this last year, or it's what we actually achieved. The black was the goal we had set. So the overall goal in the literacy, we were a little bit below that one. But when you break it down into the subcategories, we met or exceeded all of the goals in every single area, so I was pretty happy with that. One goal that we were low in was special ed, and so we'll keep working on that for sure, and as well as all areas. What I did then is I readjusted our goals going forward for the following years because they were low based on where we targeted at, so I needed to readjust those. I kept the percentages, so literacy we had said that we would increase by 4% every single year, and so I readjusted the goals by 4%, taking the number that we were at. If we did not meet a goal, I kept the goals where they were so we could still reach for those. I don't want to lower goals, I want to push us to reach higher, and so that's how the goals were. But I was pretty happy with where we're at on all of our goals. Kindergarten down at the bottom, I didn't have the data for that test that we gave because we are using NWEA MAP for kindergarten and literacy this year, and we didn't have that last year. We used a different program, so there was no growth. I couldn't show growth from one point to the other. But I was pretty happy with the goals in literacy. I was really happy with math, and math is one of our areas that we were weak in. That's the next page. We've been increasing in reading for the last several years. Math is where we somewhat struggled, and so I was very happy with math overall. We exceeded the math goal. The overall goal we had 51%. We hit it at 53%. And then when you break down the groups, we exceeded every single target in math, which I was really happy with. I know our math teachers have really been working with some of the staff changes we've made in math. I really think that we're going to hit or exceed those goals again for the next year. So I was really proud of where we were at for our math goals. And I did the same thing with them. We had planned on increasing it 5% each year, and so everywhere we exceeded, I took those goals and added 5%, so we'd have higher goals to reach for the following year. We're going to keep pushing. The next page is our CCMR goals. We did overall beat the CCMR goal of 53%. We've got it at 57%. And we exceeded all of those groups as well in CCMR, which is good. And so reset goals for CCMR. In the bottom part of the chart, this is one area that we are still really increasing or working on. We didn't meet the goals for our TSI testing. And Ms. Lyles has been really working on TSI testing and looking at, we're actually meeting with someone online, a Zoom meeting here before long about some programs we can do to help boost our kids' scores on the TSI test. And so I think we're gonna, keep working on that. And then our industry-based certifications, we'll keep working on those. One thing you have to get, they want you to get certifications, and we have a lot of programs like our welding, our I&E, all those programs that we have. The problem is the state sets certain industry-based certifications, they set certain requirements, and we just don't have a lot of those, like Frank Phillips College doesn't offer those. We're having to reach out for some of those certifications. So we have programs, but we don't have all the certifications, like the CNA. CNA is one of the ones we actually have, the one that they, allow you to get points for. And so it's really hard in our area to find all of those, trying to get Frank Phillips on board. Some of those programs that Jonathan Alejandro is working on, those Microsoft, those are some more things we can count. So we're still working on building the certification part of it. That's where we're at, so we're still working. But those are your House Bill 3 goals that the state has required us to set, and you guys are required to approve them if you agree with them.
Questions? No? Okay. Have a motion to approve it? Yes, presented.
I move to approve the House Bill 3 goals as presented.
Motion by Doug, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Stacy. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. All right, Ms. McCown, let's go to campus reports.
All right. I just want to say that the elementary has received tremendous support with our staff taking care of our kiddos. When they came back that first day, they really were more concerned about their teachers and us and about our well-being and if we were affected. And they have been resilient. They were happy to be at school. We've had backpacks, school supplies, snacks. Today we had a lady bring in 400 containers of freeze-dried candy. I don't know what it is, but it looks good. And we're going to pass that out tomorrow. We've just been overwhelmed with people calling to see what they can do, when they can do it. We have a pretty good set of donations right now, and so we're going to reach out again this week to see where everybody is in their living situation, what it is that they need now that we can help with, because there's so many different groups. I had some friends from Amarillo that brought us some $700 worth of gift cards just the other day, a few teachers from AISD, because they wanted to help. So the kids are feeling that, and we're feeling that, and today they went home again with their backpacks loaded with just some different things to brighten their day, and it is certainly appreciated. But we are going to generate a list this week of what immediate needs are and see how we can help them with that. Our enrollment was at 337 when I did my board report. We lost 4 kiddos, and it was not due to the fire, and we just had some that moved, and we had 1 that enrolled today. So we're staying pretty steady around that number. Our attendance rate is at 93.55. We rescheduled some things just because we felt like it was most appropriate. Our benchmarks we are actually going to give at the end of March. We were going to do that before spring break, but feel like we needed to reschedule that, so I'll have that data for you at the next board meeting. We rescheduled our ST Math Night. We'll be doing that April 11th. We have over 100 people who have RSVP'd for that, so we're excited about that. Gigi did come, and if you are not familiar with Gigi, Gigi is the big penguin that we coerced Tyler Brassfield into wearing, and he went around and greeted the kids, and they loved that. That ST Math program has been a great program for our students. We had Happy State Bank, I guess it was Sean Ferguson and Jory Moffitt. They offered, they talked to Happy State Bank, and they provided ice cream sundaes for our entire staff and student body on Friday. We scooped lots of ice cream, and the kids really enjoyed that. Plus, we had goodie bags for every single student that was donated. and they went home on that Friday. We celebrated Read Across America. We had lots of different people read. Education Credit Union sent out Renee. Nutrien came out and had 4 people represent them and read to our kids. We had several staff members and several students in 4th grade that wanted to go and read to our students. And the teacher sat down with them and showed them how you actually read to students and how you turn the book and show the pictures, and the kids enjoyed that. And I think that that's something we're going to continue to do, is have our older kids read to our little kids, because they both like that a lot. And progress reports are going to come this week on Wednesday. And then on Friday, our staff will be finishing up their dyslexia training during that professional development day. We did reschedule our spring pictures as well, and those are going to be on Monday. And then we have a 4th and 5th grade reporter program coming up this next week. I did invite Ms. Harston to be my guest tonight, but she couldn't make it. And her son had baseball. But Ms. Harston was nominated by a student and her family for Teacher on the Rise. And Ms. Baird sponsors that, United sponsors that, and they show up. And she got over $300 worth of gift cards, and she was recognized. She's also, her name's put in a hat to be looked at in June. So every month they recognize a few teachers, and then in June they get together and have a dinner, and then they pull one name. And then the monetary award is more substantial. So she is in the running for that. And it was little Raleigh Harper and her family that had nominated Miss Harston for that award. And then our ST math teacher of the month, this was for February, was Miss Sanders. She does a fabulous job using that program. And there is Gigi. Something that our kindergartners did that was pretty special, Miss Brassfield's class. They wanted to show the first responders just their appreciation, and that they understand, you know, what they are doing for our community. So I put the video that the Miss Brassfield's kindergarten class put together.
Mrs. Carr isn't here, so let's move on to Mr. Drury.
Excuse me. On our enrollment, the next page, we have 70 freshmen, 58 sophomores, 55 juniors, which we're getting another one tomorrow. 48 seniors for a total of 231. Our attendance rate is at 94.38. On the next page, this shows one of the pictures when we first started getting donations from other places. Even that day, that grew exponentially. We've been getting different kinds of donations since, mostly monetarily, and then some other things have been donated that weren't money. But the support from people around and people further away has been tremendous. Next page, this is just some other art I found on the wall. This is for Ms. Cheney's class. These are the, if you can't tell, these are internal organs and things in the body made with different kinds of materials that they put on paper. I thought they were well thought out and it took some effort. They did a good job. The next page, the OAP did a public performance on February 23rd. Did a nice job. I watched them during their dress rehearsal about a week and a half before, I guess it was. And they made so many changes just in the way they presented and stuff before we got to the public performance. I just thought they did very well. And they performed this Wednesday at District, and I'm excited to see them again. I feel like they'll do very well. On the next page, our band scored all ones at the UIL concert and sight reading. I asked them if they could all be here, but both directors had something they had to be at, so maybe another board meeting they can come. But again, represented us very well. On the next page, this is the BPA, the kids that were in here earlier, and then some others who also competed. This is a picture of them in Corpus Christi. And then on the next page, these are the winners that she showed to you earlier. And again, I just kind of in awe at the way some of these kids are performing. And then after that, these are the dates we have coming up. Softball, track, golf, OAP, baseball, just all kinds of things going on. And that is all I have. Do you have any questions?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Move on to Coach Lee.
The dates, we kind of list up through the board report being due February 26th. We had our first day at Sanford Fritch ISD. Obviously, February 27th, the wildfires came in and canceled softball, canceled baseball, and threw a bit of a wrench into the first week. But it gave an opportunity to get a front row seat to Panhandle Tough. People persevering, people helping each other out, and people understanding what it's like to be in something. And so for that, very grateful. Had the opportunity to go down to Childress on February 29th to watch a game being canceled, and it gave me a front row seat as to a lot of areas we can improve to drive that far with that. But a positive was getting to see our guys in a different light, getting to meet them. And from that day to today, you can see the different events from baseball, softball, track, golf, watching our athletes compete. Softball is rolling right now. Baseball is struggling. Pitching is going very well. But I did get to see them play a complete game at a tournament, and so there is a lot of potential there, and there's a lot of young talent, and I think it's just a matter of getting it all put together. The numbers for track, we have 34 student athletes on the guys' side, grades 9 through 12, eligible, healthy, and competing in meets. 32 girls, grades 9 through 12, eligible, healthy, and competing. And baseball has 27 players. I think an opportunity to grow. It's broken up about half JV and varsity, but collectively, there is a foundation. It is not indicative of what maybe the record showed with football. So there is some cause for optimism. Student accomplishments, I think we've been able to start some new routines. Athletes getting up and working out in the morning. That has been well received. The school being so supportive, thank you for approving those board amendment or budget amendments. What Gruber brought in completely changed the weight room 180 in one day. And our athletes, they couldn't put a bar on the same place on Monday, are sitting out there with a tape measure on Tuesday making sure all the power racks line up. And I don't think it has anything to do with the power rack. I think it has to do with, can you be detail oriented? We started with the locker room today. I don't think it has anything to do with cleaning a locker room. I think it has to do with task completion. Can you do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it? And the athletes embracing it as much as they can. 2 young females came up and said, Coach, we have workouts 2 days for girls but 4 days for guys. Can we be a part of 4? And so we will have 2 girls come in on their own, which one, we think instills a lot of confidence for a young female to come up and ask, but 2, to jump in and take that, and we hope that that carries over, because the weight room is where you make the difference. There's only 2 ways you get better. You go buy better athletes, or you make the athletes you have better. And we're definitely in the mindset of the second way is the right way. So we're working towards that. The foundation is tremendous for youth sports in the area. Having the opportunity to streamline that and take what some people can view as a hurdle, really exaggerate the positive. People go, oh, we have to share our weight room. Or we get to highlight our weight room and the people in the community see it. We have all these people that want to use our facilities, or we have all these people that want to help and get our athletes involved, whether it's basketball, it's baseball, it's softball. So I think it's beyond just viewing the glass as half full, but accentuating the positive and using that to build momentum. And just want to thank the board, the school district, and the community of Fridge for helping to make this transition as smooth and positive from the start as it could be, especially with all of the challenges.
Do you have any questions? Thank you. Right, we're gonna slide back and get Mrs. Carr since she came in.
So I realized last night that I had double booked myself, and we had a 8th grade parent meeting scheduled for like right after the fires, and so we rescheduled it to today, and then I realized last night that it was a board meeting too. So we had about 20 8th grade parents show up over there with Miss Lyles, just to talk about, you know, the transition into high school and credits and endorsements and all that fun stuff. So I thought that that was a pretty good turnout for that 8th grade class over there. First page here, our student council, when we had to, you know, use all the water bottles because the water had to be boiled, the student council started collecting all the empty water bottles to take to recycle. I think Miss Reed told me this morning she has about 15 trash bags of water bottles in her classroom that she's getting ready to take somewhere to recycle. So, next page. Just some stuff that's gone on around the campus, all the drills that we've completed. Science Club has kind of had to put, isn't meeting as much just because they meet after school and we have track after school now at the junior high. So, but they are working on growing some plants still. Back in February, we completed our RLA and math interim testing, which we'll go over some of those results here in a minute. And then today we had some pictures going on. The pictures down there were of Angie with BP Designs. She brought in a bunch of gifts for all of our kiddos that were affected by the fire. So they each got their own bag with items that they specifically picked out. So that was pretty neat. The next page, the top pictures are just our students of the month from February. And then we have some Science Club pictures of those plants that they're growing. And the other 2 pictures on the side there are Miss Reed. A couple times this year she's had a food day where she takes over 6th grade PE and has the kids bring in food from different, whatever countries they're studying at the time. So right before spring break she had Italy, Germany, and Russia. And I just want you to point out, the top picture there of that are the coaches really trying to see what's going on there with all that food. But they bring in so much food that it's almost enough to feed the whole school. It's crazy and it's delicious. So I know all the kids really enjoy that with Miss Reed. And the next page is our enrollment. We're up one student from last time. We actually enrolled a student today. So up one more. And then our attendance there's pretty close to 94, 95. Still working on sending out those attendance letters to those kiddos that are having a hard time getting there. But the next page goes over our interim data. So the top one is algebra. So it's kind of hard to see, but the very top line of the red, purple, blue, and green is the region. And then the other two lines are the same, and that's our school. So if you'll notice the region, compared to the region, we look pretty good there in algebra, so I like that. The next two are 8th grade math. And so they're split into two because for some reason they started giving the results in two reports. The top report is students without accommodations, and the bottom report is students with accommodations. And then the numbers out to the side would be what they are combined. So in 8th grade math, we had combined, we would have 43% did not meet, 10 approach, 27% at meets, and 20% at masters. Which I know the 43%, doesn't look great, but if you'll notice, most of those are our kids with accommodations. But the 20% masters for our 8th grade math, I'm pretty happy about. So the next one would be our 7th grade math. So again, in two reports, the top one is kids without accommodations. The bottom one is kids with accommodations. So without accommodations, we're looking really good. With accommodations, of course, we want to see a little bit more pass, but if you'll compare us to the region, we're looking better on our kids with accommodations. And then there you have 24% did not meet, 27 approaches, 38 meets, and 11% masters. Which in 7th grade math, 11% masters I'm very happy with, because in 7th grade math is where you split off those honors kids. So the 7th grade honors kids are actually taking 8th grade math. So you really don't have any honors kids in 7th grade math. So 11% masters is pretty good. The next one is 6th grade math. So top one again, without accommodations, bottom with. Without accommodations, we're looking really good. With accommodations, of course, we want to see that red go down some, but we're not too far off from the region on that. Then 21% total did not meet, 15 approaches, 38 meets, and 26 masters. So the next one is 7th grade RLA. Same thing, the report's divided up. Comparing with the region, we're looking good with both of those results. And then have 24% did not meet, 9% approaches, 11% meets, and 56% masters, which is fantastic. If that happens in the Real Star test, we're going to have a party or something. And then 6th grade RLA, same thing. In our accommodated students, again, we have a little bit more red than we want to see, but we're working on that. So 25% did not meet, 12% approaches, 20% meets, and 43% masters. If we can get that, I'll be really happy with that. And we didn't give an 8th grade RLA test because we were selected to give an 8th grade field test. So we did that at the same time we gave the 6th and 7th grade interims. We just don't get any information from the field test. So, and then the last page is just what we have going on at the junior high. A lot of track, and then at the end there, that's when all of our STAR tests are scheduled for.
Okay. Yeah, questions? Thank you. All right, let's move on to district reports with Mr. Hyde.
Okay, I just have a few things to talk about. The first thing in my report, I've mentioned this once before, I want to mention it again because it's been a while. The financial summary graph, the summary report, it looks like their percentage of expenditures from previous years is much smaller. the percent what we've expended, but that's because we have that big expense for the track out there that throws off the percentage of how much money we've spent. We are running a bus route to Border each day now to transport displaced kids. There was 10 this morning that rode on it. We just wanted to make you aware that we were doing that. We started out with enough that we had to do we're using our new special ed bus, the 14-passenger bus. We had enough initially that we had to run that and a Suburban over there, but we're down to enough where we're just running the bus now. So just FYI on that one. And then we do want to request that we have a called meeting as soon as we can next week, if we can, to discuss some of the financial impacts that we're going to feel from the fire on our budgets of the bond, some other things like that. We also need to go over the roof repairs. Our roof person called us today and it's like, hey, can you get this in a board meeting this week? I'm like, well, it's tonight, so no. So if we can get it into next week to discuss the roof repairs from the hailstorm, whenever that was ago, that would be helpful. So we are requesting a call meeting to talk about that. And then really in the reports, the only thing I wanted to point out is the refined ADA is once again staying pretty steady. I put in the report where I get the information. Now this was before the fires. So this is just through, I think I went to March 1st. You can see that we rose a little for the second 6 weeks. Started to dip a little in the third, came back again on the fourth, and then back down a little bit on the fifth. So we really are, for the year, ended up at a really good place in our refined ADA. If I ran it for today, I think we'd still be very similar to where we are. So I'm pretty happy where our refined ADA is. Do you have any questions for me?
Nope.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Garrett.
All right, if you can see my report, they talked about the enrollment there, and like Richard said, we're holding strong there, and we're liking where we are with the refined ADA. And like many of the administrators have touched on, we're doing some very positive things, academically, athletically. Our band did well. It's I think their fourth sweepstakes in a row, I do believe, that we've gotten, which is a tremendous accomplishment. And I don't know if y'all have heard or not, but Mr. Lucas is going to retire at the end of the year, so we're going to miss him. We've got that job posted, working on getting it filled. And, the kiddos in BPA, we're doing some great things here, and I appreciate all their hard work and all their sponsors. And while I've got Tara here, I want to give her a big shout out and a thank you. She came up, during the fires and promoted some of the things that we had going here at the school for the community, and we thank her for everything she does for the community and for us, and we sure appreciate you. And so, but no, we're working hard, and we want the end of the year, to end on a positive note, and right now we're trending in that direction.
Okay, thank you. All right, we need to have a meeting next week. No for you?
No, I was.
Oh, sorry. Can we do it Monday? 25th?
No.
I'm good with whatever. Cancel whatever.
Anybody not do it Monday?
Can we do Wednesday next week? I've got baseball Monday, Thursday, track Tuesday, and
Can't fit it
it's
in.
either Wednesday or Friday. It's either Wednesday or Friday.
Come on. We can do Wednesday. How about the 27th? Is that too late? Richard? 6 o'clock.
I'll even feed you, how about that? We'll have food on next week.
I got a question about BPA and all the academic awards. I know we've got a wall for all state sports, you know, everybody that's done college sports, that kind of stuff. Can we get a wall made for the state champions and national champions and BPA?
Sure, yeah. No, we can
They
definitely
need
do
to
that.
be, they need to be put on the wall just like anybody else.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. We can certainly take care of that.
Okay, April. Since Chad is pretty well,
Jeff's not going.
You ready to go? Well,
Logan, Doug,
yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Can we have an extra Sunday, week?
is a Wednesday night better for y'all than any other night?
That far out, I can plan around it.
We all think, how about the 10th?
Oh, that's true.
What's that?
Will we playing games? Is that a second?
Yeah, the 10th.
Yeah.
Okay. The 10th at 6 p.m. All right. Mr. Hine, will you call us into executive session at 7 o'clock to discuss personnel, Texas Governmental Code 551.071, discussion regarding administrators' contracts.
go finish, we can all make the motion, everybody can make it.
Okay, Mr. Hine, will you call us out of the executive session at 7:13? And consider possible action on administrative contracts. Mr. Garrison.
All right, I recommend certified administrator term contracts for Kim Searles, Jennifer Carr, Houston Moose, Philip Wiggins, and Gina McCowan through the 2025-2026 school year.
Have a recommendation by Jason. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve certified administrator term contracts of Kim Searles, Jennifer Carr, Houston Moose, Philip Wiggins, and Gina McCowan through the 2025-2026 school year.
Have a motion by Doug. Do I have a second? Second by Logan. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
All right, I recommend a non-certified administrator contract through the 2025-2026 school year for Richard Hine.
A recommendation by Jason. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve a non-certified administrator contract through the 2025-2026 school year excuse me, for Richard Hine.
Motion by Doug. Do I have a second? Second by Mike. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
Okay, and I recommend a certified administrator probationary contract through the 2024-2025 school year for Brent Drury.
Have a recommendation by Mr. Garrison. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve a certified administrator probationary contract through the 2024-2025 school year for Brent Drury.
Have a motion by Doug. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Stacy. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. Mr. Hine, will you call us adjourned at 7:15? Oh, let me make a motion, excuse me. Can I have a second? Second by Stacy. We are adjourned.